Alright, back with episode 11 here of the Kerbal Space Program Science Career Playthrough on the Sol mod. I got the CKAN list up there for you on display to show all the mods that are installed on this particular run. We got the Ballistic and Sharon authored Sol core and configs with the 16K textures and parallax also as well there, and scatter. Shabby, among others, supportive ones that are installed through the process of the CKAN Sol installation. So I did have to put some clouds in there as well. So that was a task, but I got it done. And that's what we're working with here. So pick it up here in the VAB. We just brought Jeb back from his first lunar encounter mission, which was really fun. I feel like the ship had capabilities to do a landing mission with some minor adjustments, so that's what has occurred here, and we're picking it up. Just a little correction to the build, which was taking the science lab off and adding an adjustment to the fuel situation where the Terrier is at the top. I got I think a 400 and a 200 on there now, so that's a change at the top there, and some solar equipment, as you see, which will allow me to generate some electricity and some batteries as well, so we can do science once we land, and of course the struts for the landers there on the build as well. But the same ship pretty much. Also did a couple of test launches just to see if I was going crazy on my inclination there, and my suspicions were correct. It is where I'm launching from on Earth at Cape Canaveral, and relative to the tilt of the Earth, it's just kind of pushing me that way, so that's just kind of what it is. In this environment in the solar system, but that's cool. So I actually really like that. It's a different challenge that I can have as I'm going to these different celestial bodies. And another mistake that I made was doing the correction in Earth's orbit, which was why it was so costly for the DV. But I was kind of just going through the motions of a run, to the moon there and see what I needed to do, and now I have a better understanding of what's happening. So I feel like this moon landing is going to be certainly possible, and we should be able to get back here, and I'll do a better system, or sequence I should say, of things in getting this ship to the moon and back. We'll do the correction about halfway out on the trip, is what I should have done last time, instead of right in Earth's orbit where it's costs so much more to do that. So that'll be one difference in this flight that you'll see. So I think we covered the ship changes, and we can get right onto a launch here. The Elixir. This is going to be the lunar landing mission. Let's get a save and a launch. Now, one thing I know is that there's times of day that it'll be the best to do this launch. I'm kind of not going to do that. I'm just going to launch and just eyeball it from a maneuver perspective and try to get a situation where I can at least get an encounter, and I feel confident from there I can feather it in and do that with enough DV to spare to get the situation I want. So let's go ahead and launch this, get into orbit, and we'll see where we're at. I am going to try to hit an angle here for the tilt between the 90 and the 45. So you'll see me kind of tilting that way instead of directly to the east. And that's just an estimation on my part. I also feel a little better about the launches and the DV situation, because I realized that that music drop was in fact Earth at the point where orbit drops to atmosphere. That's a difference, I should say. I'm trying to concentrate on two things at once and talk. Okay. That always happens with this shit. That's tough. I wasn't sure if my launch profile was causing me that inclination or if it was the Earth, but now I know that it's just my launch position and the Earth's tilt, both. So that's good to know moving forward. And this is going to be a great sunlight right off the ship here. Real nice. I did a test flight as far as like where the orbital point was, and it's definitely 80 on Earth, so it's not 70. That's notable moving forward. Remember that that time the music went away at 80, I was like, oh, that's something. That definitely was. Very interesting. It also makes me wonder about the 35. Like as far as dipping in for a narrow break. But that's worked well so far. So I'll try to hit about a 85 or so orbit here. We'll see what we're working with at that point. Like some kind of switch over there. I just want to climb this last little bit here. Alright, so I'm right about there. Just gonna double check this. I don't usually do this, but I'm getting used to Earth, so just want to go out there. That's about good. 26 at 21 seconds. And that'll be just about all of this stage, which is fine. That's a mark. I'm pretty good there. Feel good about that. Should be in orbit. Yep. Okay. So that's with 139 left in that first stage out, so I'm pretty comfortable there. I'll use that last little remaining to do a little correction at the halfway point, and I'll separate. I'll try to be on our way here. I want to get this situated. So I'm going to do this in a weird way, there's no question. I'm just going to go for an encounter. I'm not, like, setting this up. Yeah. My dude got one already. That's pretty good. I'll take that. And then I'll just do a correction to flatten that out. That's about 1,000. Yeah. Okay. That'll at least get us going out there where I know I have something lined up. And then I'll do a correction here. That's how we'll work this. Start a new quick save chain here. And I'm gonna go, let's see. About 38 seconds, roughly. And I'm gonna stay on the maneuver node too, and just go like that. Quick separation and reignite. Most likely a throttle down coming when it gets close. So I don't overshoot. I'll see what we got there. Okay, that's even better than we were shooting for. So that's 3-7. I feel good about that. A quick save there. This is going to be post low orbit. Okay. Then I'm going to get set up for some corrective actions at about the halfway point, and I'm sorry for all that going on there. Let's try to look at my blue line. Add maneuver. There we go. Or I could just do this. Let's focus here. Bring that this way. I did mention sometimes the radio can be helpful for corrective actions, which is the case here. You see I'm kind of working it in. Looks pretty good there. Yeah, about 30. I'm real good with 30. Yeah. We'll drop to a real low orbit right there. And you see the difference in DV. It's not costing me 1,000 this time. So that was a mistake there. I'm going to get this off. I feel pretty solid with that. We'll circularize there. That should be in good shape. Get to 10 seconds. I'm pretty good with that. Okay, quick save 2. We're in position here. I'm gonna get a time check. We're at about 18 minutes. Okay. I can do this last burn here. Let's get over. What's the next maneuver? No. Hit the node first. Okay. So now burn coming up at 5 seconds for 10 seconds. And you see kind of where we're pointed there to bring that in. You can also freelance that. I did it as a maneuver, all in one. Helpful when you have the pilot toolbox here. Don't always have that in career, but I'm taking advantage of what I got in science mode, and let's try to get to the moon and land. Important burn here. Get our encounter. I might have overshot it a smidge there, but we're good. Right at 29.3. Very comfortable with that to get landing procedures started. And we're going to set up another maneuver just to get that going, which is just a retrograde. Talked about that. Try to get as close as I can. Yeah, I'm pretty good there. 286. Okay. We're in very good shape. Very good indeed. Yeah, it's a pretty good burn there at even full throttle. So, okay. 286 it is. Good pointed there. And circularize in orbit. Let me check time. Doing pretty good. Can finish this sequence out here. Get a save. We've done a lot of the views coming to the moon already, so I'm just gonna get things moving here. Get these maneuvers accomplished, and then probably start the next episode with the landing. But as you see here, I kind of just eyeballed that. I'm sure I could have done that way better, but it was effective nonetheless to get our encounter in. Thus correct halfway, which was also a good call. Out further in space. And DV situation is very healthy here, so let's get this last burn in. Back at Luna. Mark is at 14. Sure, anybody that's new to the game and watching these is starting to pick up the maneuver execution and how you break down that burn time there. Hopefully picked up a little trick with the thrust limiter and extra little fine-tuning that you can do with that. And eventually I'll be doing on-the-fly corrections too. I'll find the right situation for that. This I just felt comfortable doing with the maneuvers. Everything flowed nicely, so I feel good about it. There's a mark on the maneuver. And we're bringing it back. Drop into a nice orbit here. Already as close as we've been to Luna here in the surface. 5 seconds. And we'll call it right there. 20 and 31 I feel pretty good about. Hopefully you don't hit any mountains or anything at that height or altitude. And there we go. We're captured. We're back at Luna. This time we're equipped more for landing procedures. I got some struts there. And plenty of fuel at 2000 DV to do a landing and hopefully get back up and come back as long as I do it efficiently. So that's a great place to stop. I'm going to get a save once again. Yeah, that's a quick save 3 pre-landing. All right. All right, so that was good. Made some corrections to the ship. Got a little more fuel on the Terrier upper stage. We're able to get corrections done at about the halfway mark on our trajectory outward towards Luna, and that saved us a ton of DV. on those corrections, did it all in one maneuver, dropped it down to about 30-20 orbit here. So we got a lot of good stuff going on, and coming right at you with the next episode and a lunar landing for the first time in this playthrough.